Hey, I'm Tony Moreland, and this is POW, the Samsung Developers Podcast, where we chat with innovators using Samsung technologies, award-winning app developers and designers, as well as insiders working on the latest Samsung tools. Welcome to Season 2, Episode 5. On today's show, I interview Bala Thinagarajan, Director of Product Management with Samsung Mobile and part of the Knox team. Knox is the security platform developed by Samsung that makes Android devices the most secure in the market. Not only do we talk about security for consumer of Samsung devices, but also the many resources available for developers building with Knox and the benefits offered to business enterprise customers. Enjoy.
So I am really excited to have with me on the podcast today, Bala Thinagarajan.
Hey, Tony, first of all, thanks for the invite, and I'm really excited to be here today.
Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to our talk today to learn more about Knox. Last year, we did an episode with Morgan Parker where we talked about the Knox Partner Program, but today we actually get to dive into Knox and talk about all the features and capabilities for developers. But first, let me ask, who is Bala Thinagarajan?
Currently, I'm a Director of Product Management in the Samsung Mobile B2B team with a key focus on Knox software portfolio. And before joining the product team, I was working as a solutions architect and built solutions for US government vertical. And that's when I got an opportunity to design the architecture for Tactical Edition on Galaxy S20 and S9. And on the personal side, I have two peppy kids, and I currently live in the beautiful Bay Area with my family.
So we're pretty close to each other. I'm actually over on the other side of the bay. Both of us work out of the Mountain View office. After COVID, when they let us back in, I'm sure we'll be bumping into each other when we're in the hallways there.
Yeah, it's been more than a year, and I really miss those face-to-face interactions, and looking forward to get back to the office as soon as possible.
Can you tell me how long have you been at Samsung?
I'm with Samsung for more than 11 years, but it still feels like yesterday. I joined Samsung as a consultant in 2009 to validate the device management protocol on the Samsung phones. And then in 2011, we created the device management framework on Samsung Android devices, which then got adopted in Knox framework. And through these years, I've been growing together with the Knox team at Samsung.
And so what was your professional journey that eventually led you to Samsung?
Well, in 2004, I worked for BenQ as a software engineer in their offshore team in India. BenQ is a consumer electronics company, and I was part of their mobile team. That's when I got my first exposure to mobile technology. And while working for BenQ, I got an opportunity from HCL Technologies to lead a mobile deployment in Australia. And I took the job and deployed mobile value-added services for various legacy phones in Optus and Hutchison network in Sydney. And then we did a similar deployment in Belgium for Proximus. And after returning from Europe, I worked on a project to validate protocol implementation of 3G signaling gateway for Alcatel. And that's when Samsung was looking for someone with a good understanding on 3GPP standards and protocols. And it aligned well with my background. And they hired me as a consultant in 2009.
Wow. So you really have had quite a journey going all the way from your native country of India through Europe and now here to the States.
Yeah, it's an amazing journey. And that's what happens when you work in technology. Always keep your bags ready.
Of course, yeah. As I had mentioned, last year we did an interview with Morgan where we talked about the Knox Partner Program. But for those that aren't really familiar, can you explain what exactly is Knox and when did it become a part of Samsung?
We introduced Knox in 2013 to make Android more secure on Samsung devices. Because back in the days when Google introduced Android, for the initial few years, the main goal was to increase Android's consumer market share. And Android was not ready for business adoption. So Samsung, being the largest manufacturer of Android phone, saw this as an opportunity and created Knox to meet the needs of our customers. So just to put things in perspective, Knox is a brand name that represents security platform and advanced security features like that are required for enterprise, and also the cloud services that helps deploy and manage devices.
So I'd like it if you could elaborate a bit more on Knox security. Is this only available for enterprise customers, or is it also available for consumers of Samsung phones?
Great question. So the Knox security platform is the foundation of security that's pre-built on all Samsung devices. The security platform on the device, runs and scans for security in real time, which means the security is turned on by default. So when a consumer gets a Samsung phone, they're already getting the most secured phone on the market today.
Nice.
On top of the security foundation, we also built Knox platform for enterprise, which includes a toolkit and resources using which enterprise can unlock advanced features to transform a regular consumer device to a business device.
Can you talk about the advanced features supported by Knox platform for enterprise?
So Android Enterprise meets the most common set of requirements. Any customer who want to use Android Enterprise, they will meet most of their common requirements using AE. But customers in regulated industry has more stringent security requirements that cannot be met by Android Enterprise. And that's where Knox comes into picture. Knox can be used as an extension to Android Enterprise, and the advanced features that are created within Knox are created with an objective to make the device more secure, productive, and manageable.
What would some examples be?
For example, to access classified information using phones, government agencies must use a phone that supports 2 layers of encryption. And Samsung is the only OEM that meets this requirement using Knox dual door and VPN chaining. And also there are many other features to help increase productivity. For example, using Knox, customers can remap hardware key to launch a business app. This is a very helpful feature for frontline workers. They can just press the side key to quickly launch a business app. And this business app could be either a push-to-talk application or a barcode scanning application.
Oh, okay.
So these are very few examples. There are hundreds of features in Knox that can be leveraged by customers and developers when building an enterprise solution.
For developers focusing on enterprise solutions, what tools are available to build these enterprise solutions?
Developers can leverage Knox SDK to access all the Knox functionalities. And depending upon what solution they develop, they might be able to leverage a subset of Knox functionalities. For example, mobile threat defense solution developers can access Knox APIs to get access to hundreds of data points, using which they'll be able to detect and also remediate threats.
What would be some examples of these data points?
Sure. They can find what applications are running on the device and what resources are accessed by the app. And in case if they want to find the network conditions or connection quality, they can also leverage the Knox API to find that. If there is an abnormal memory utilization, they can also detect that. And if a particular application is trying to access a file system, and if a read-write permission is granted to that app, that information can also be found using the Knox APIs.
Okay. So I was reading about Knox machine learning model protection. Can you explain a little bit more about what that is?
Sure. So we recently introduced this in Knox 3.7.1, which was introduced in March 2021. If you see, in the recent days, businesses are adopting AI technology to increase the productivity in a rapid pace, and more businesses are leaning into this technology. So machine learning data is the brain of AI technology. So when they develop an app to include artificial intelligence, they also develop machine learning data model. And this machine learning data model can be either stored on the cloud or on the device. When you store it on the device, you're completely eliminating the latency issue. And more businesses are preferring to store the machine learning data model on the device.
Yeah. But
there is one problem. When you store it on the device, it could, because you're going to store that on the plain text, and that could potentially cause a data leak. In order to solve the problem, Knox now offers a neural model encryption framework using which customers can easily deploy their machine learning model on the mobile device. In addition to model protection, Knox also offers application access control. So using which you can ensure only approved application can access the data model.
Okay. So what are some other important features that are available for developers?
There are n number of options that are available in Knox. I'm going to just highlight 3 more things. So developers can also access universal credential management API set, using which they'll be able to configure, provision, and consume credentials. And they can also take a look at network platform analytics. This will help them identify or inspect the OS behavior and also inspect the network patterns. Okay. So this is only available on a Samsung device.
Okay.
And the last thing I would like to highlight is about advanced customization capability. We have hundreds of customization API using which you'll be able to customize the device the way you want.
Got it. Do you have any examples of some unique customization capabilities that have only been available on Samsung devices?
Absolutely. As I mentioned, there are hundreds of customization APIs. And for example, if you're building a solution to transform a Samsung tablet to an infotainment system in a taxi, developer can leverage Knox API to auto power on device when the car ignition is turned on and power off when the ignition is turned off. So if a driver is going to get out of the car, he don't have to go to the back seat to turn the mobile device manually off to save the battery. He can just call the Knox API.
Wow, that's crazy to think that a taxi can turn off their car and that's when the device powers down. But yet when they turn on the ignition, the device actually turns back on.
Exactly. Yeah, it's a great feature. And like a lot of our solution developers are leveraging this API.
So what would be some other examples for solutions?
Similarly, to use a device as an in-flight entertainment system, sending the audio output through device speaker is not desirable.
Of course, because I can see if you're sitting next to an annoying passenger making loud sounds out of the device. Yeah, that's not going to be nice.
Exactly. So turn off device speaker and only allow audio output through headphones. So when the headphones are connected, the sound is transmitted. And in case if the headphone is off, the sounds are shut off.
So they don't even have the ability to control whether the audio is on or off.
Exactly. It's pre-configured and users cannot change.
That's great.
Yeah. And also they can leverage few of the features such as changing the branding. Like in case, if you want to change the Samsung device logo during boot time and use your own corporate image, that is also possible. The API would allow you to do that.
Oh, nice. It really allows for some great customization.
Yep.
So is there a fee to use the Knox SDK toolkit in license?
So as of today, the Knox premium capabilities requires a paid license key. But the good news is we are changing the current pricing policy. So starting July 1st, 2021, customers and partners can get Knox Platform for Enterprise key for free at no cost.
Free. Wow.
And this free key will give access to all the Knox capabilities except for dual door and UCM.
Can you talk a bit about cloud services and what are the benefits for cloud services?
Knox Cloud Services offers everything that's needed for an enterprise to deploy and manage devices. We have deployment tools such as Knox Mobile Enrollment, which would help you to automate your device enrollment process. And Knox Manage is an enterprise mobility management tool using which you'll be able to deploy and control the device policies remotely.
Wow.
And we have Knox E4.1, which is an operating system management tool using which you'll be able to schedule software updates onto the device. So Samsung normally releases monthly patches and quarterly releases. Instead of like getting unexpected software updates, now KE1 would allow the IT administrator to manage the software updates.
Definitely a much smoother process for updating the devices.
Exactly. All these services are bundled in one product called Knox Suite. So if customers are going to buy Knox Suite, they will get access to Knox Mobile Enrollment, Knox Manage, and Knox E4.1, and also a KPE license key.
So customers only need to get one product for all of these services?
That's correct. Just Knox Suite. That's good enough.
Great. So let's talk about Knox Configure. Can you tell me what are some of the benefits?
Yeah. Knox Configure is also a cloud service which would allow you to configure the device the way you want. Like, for example, we talked about a lot of customization capabilities, and Knox Configure will provide you that service end to end. You don't have to develop your own app, but Knox Configure will do the job for you. If your business doesn't really require ongoing device management, and if you want to use the device as a single purpose device, then you can leverage Knox Configure.
So would this be like something you would see like at a shopping center where you have a kiosk and there's a device there? Is that what you're referring to?
Exactly. So if your use case is business to consumer, and then you can leverage Knox Configure, and it has hundreds of functionalities which will allow you to configure the device as a single-purpose device.
Okay, great. So what's the best way for developers to access these resources?
So the best place to start is go and sign up as a partner in the Samsung Knox Partner Portal. Once when you sign up as a partner, you'll get access to all the development tools. You'll get access to Knox SDK, and also the sample codes. If you want to start development, you can refer to our sample codes. And you will get access to development and commercial licenses and direct support to continue your development from our developer forum. And in case if you get stuck during your development, you can also leverage our ticketing support system and post tickets and get response, and also participate in the Knox Partner Program.
Can you share the URL for the Knox Partner Portal?
The URL to access the partner portal is partner.samsungknox.com.
So tell me, what is the goal of the Knox Partner Program?
The main goal of Samsung Knox Partner Program is to support partners to create better solutions to address the needs of our customers, and also support sales and marketing activities to increase the overall sales volumes. That's the main goal.
Can you tell me if there's a fee to join the Knox Partner Program?
No, there is no charge to join Knox Partner Program. All you need is, you need to be a registered business with a DUNS number and sign up using your corporate email address. That's all it's needed.
So the DUNS number, you're talking about Duns and Bradstreet, correct?
That's correct, yeah.
So I know that there are different tiers to the Knox Partner Program. Can you tell me what are the benefits for each tier?
Absolutely. So the basic tier, within the Knox Partner Program, is Bronze, which includes access to development tools, development and commercial license, and access to online developer forum, ticketing system, and access to market resources. All those informations are available in the Knox Partner Program. And when they upgrade from Bronze to Silver, they get all the benefits of Bronze. But in addition to that, they get direct relationship with a partner manager in your region. And you will be eligible to participate in the Knox validated program. And also you will get a partner program tier logo.
Okay.
In addition to that, you'll also be eligible to get internal promotions to Samsung teams and co-marketing opportunities. And when you move from Silver to Gold, you'll get all the benefits that I mentioned in Silver. In addition to that, promotion on Samsung online properties in samsungknox.com, and access to latest devices for testing. In case if there is a new Samsung device, you can get it from our loaner program.
Nice.
And you'll also be eligible for invitations to Samsung global events. On the topmost tier is our Platinum. So for Platinum tier partners, they'll get all the benefits of Gold plus preferential license pricing, dedicated global account manager, one-to-one executive sponsor, and eligibility for event sponsorship funding.
So earlier in the interview, you had mentioned Tactical Edition. Can you tell me what exactly is Tactical Edition and what is the target audience?
Yeah. So we created Tactical Edition specifically to address the needs of Department of Defense.
Sure.
For example, the Department of Defense personnel can be anywhere in the world on a mission. They could be in the middle of an ocean or they're in a desert. So regardless of where they are, access to situational awareness information is very critical. They should know where they are and what's happening around them.
Of course.
That's very important. So back in the days for situational awareness, you might have seen in some Hollywood movies, people might be using a tough book.
Yeah, those giant case almost for their device. Sure.
Exactly. And they use a tough book. They connect that to a tactical radio through a wired connection, and they'll be communicating with their command center. And on the tough book, they will see the map data, what's happening around them, where exactly they are. All that information can be accessed. Now, the main goal of Tactical Edition is to replace the 20-pound tough book with a few hundred grams of Samsung smartphone. That's the main goal.
Sure.
And how we are able to achieve that is we work with Department of Defense. We understood their requirement and we enable special drivers and protocols on the device and made the device interoperable with tactical radio.
Okay.
So that the device can communicate and receive the data from the tactical radio and provide that information in the graphical user interface on the mobile phone. So that's what we did on Tactical Edition. So just to simplify, Tactical Edition is nothing but a military smartphone.
So when you're not working with developers on Knox, what is it that you do for fun?
I'm an outdoor person and I like to hike. So there are hundreds of trails here in the Bay Area. If someone wants to find me during weekend, probably they will find me in one of those trails.
Nice. I do a ton of hiking as well. And I've hiked many of the hills on your side of the bay. One of these days, you're going to have to come over to my side of the bay now and head up towards Mount Diablo. That's where I do most of my hiking now.
Yeah, that's one of the blessings to live in the Bay Area.
Yeah, lots of wonderful outdoor. And then also we have the opportunity to hopefully get indoors soon and get back into the office. That'll be nice.
Exactly.
Hey, Bala, thank you very much for joining me on the podcast today. It was great to chat with you and get to learn much more about Knox and its capabilities.
Thank you, Tony.
Looking to start creating for Samsung? Download the latest tools to code your next app. Or get software for designing apps without coding at all. Sell your apps to the world on the Samsung Galaxy Store. Check out developer.samsung.com today and start your journey with Samsung.
The PAL podcast is brought to you by the Samsung Developer Program and produced by Tony Moreland.